All right. So, last time when we met, you guys spent a number of hours in the smithy kind of figuring out what you could salvage and put together to either make some new materials or turn into something usable. You guys fiddled with some of the crystals. There's now a crystal infused kind of shield that you are holding and wielding. Lara, Sifel, you now have a staff that has a crystal kind of entwined on the top, very much like Gandalf. And then you guys ventured across the hall, in which Sifel did a long bit of reading and investigating throughout this kind of study, while Indigo and Lara and the others took their rest in here. Found some very nice spell scrolls, and a little bit of information about some odd materials of an old wizard. And then you guys managed, before leaving this room, to find a secret passageway, which led you, surprisingly, over into the kitchens on the eastern side of the castle. And while you guys were in this kitchen and ready to make your way out, Indigo, you overheard something saying that it was hungry. Sifel, immediately suspicious of the chests over in the top left corner of the room, or I should kind of say the northeast part of the room, you casted, what was it, Celestial Burst? I think it was. I can't hear you. I wasn't looking at there. Was there a nod there?
Sorry, I muted myself.
How dare you on a podcast?
Yes, it was. I was letting you have your intro. I was being respectful and listening.
Well, that's surprising. Thank you.
And now I'm going to be disrespectful and correct you once again that the chests are in the northwest.
Oh, Jesus! Wow. Yep.
But yes, I did.
Great tonight, guys.
I did cast Celestial Burst.
Okay. Yep. Everything I said east is technically west. This is a great start to the night.
Right, west, east, west. It's all subjective.
Yeah, I'll just stick to my left and right. Screw the audience. I'm just kidding. We love you.
Top left works.
Top left of the map. You went and popped open the chest. You found a leather pouch and a small jar and a bunch of other smaller kind of blankets and other materials underneath. And when you took away the bag and you kind of were reaching back down in, the jar kind of split in a seam and a kind of yellow jaw appeared, opening up with a long purple tongue. Hungry. And that's where we find ourselves. What do you guys do?
Wow! Look at this! Wow! Hello! Guy, there's a little guy living right here in this box!
Indigo, step away from the jar. We have enough things that talk that are meant to be inanimate.
Indigo, it will pick up the jar and turn around and be like, "What do you mean?"
Sifel, you just see this jar with this long tongue. Just...
Oh, gods.
If you want to draw it, I think that's fine, but I think I would leave it in the chest.
Oh, but look, he's hungry. I'm sure we can find something here to eat. See, aren't you hungry, little guy?
Is this like... Can I do any kind of check to try to figure out what this thing is?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do nature or arcane.
Let's go
Arcana, east, west.
Listen,
I cut it here, guys.
I wasn't correcting you this time.
I think both are acceptable.
I'm just gonna allow you to be stupid.
I appreciate that.
It's a 24 on the arcane.
This is definitely a mimic of some type. You would
Okay.
assume either a very small form of one, perhaps a child, but you honestly don't know how they reproduce. No one seems to really know.
Sure.
Um,
But it's not its own thing. It is a mimic that just happens to be like a jar.
exactly. It took the shape of a jar at some point in its life, and here it is.
I mean,
You find it odd that it's not trying to eat or attack you.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I'm curious about. Is like, if this is just a run-of-the-mill mimic,
The
why
other
is it not
thing
hostile?
that strikes you as extremely odd is you've never friggin' heard of one talking. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something.
So the fact that it did not try to eat Indigo and has not, and that it's talking, should be like, what the fuck?
This is a common creature with uncommon mannerisms. I'm not comfortable with this thing. We should leave it. We have work to do.
Agreed.
What? You know, I hear you. But look how little he is. I'll carry him. I'll keep him safe. You won't have to worry at all. I
And
got
what
you,
do you
little
plan
buddy.
on feeding him?
I don't know. I don't know what he eats. He doesn't seem to want to eat me, so maybe we'll find something along the way he can snuck on. I mean, there's another chest right here. Who knows?
Are you planning to give him the rations that we have been surviving off of, splitting?
Laura said she wouldn't give me any. I saw the look in her eyes.
Lara nods.
To that point, it's actually worth a check. Is there any food items in this kitchen?
You can look around, sure. Make an investigation check. Nothing,
I would
like,
like
I will
to
just tell you
assist
right
with
now, nothing appears to be edible that you see around.
Okay.
But yeah, you can look for some.
Yeah, I think while he's having this whole conversation, like, he's just walking the perimeter of the room, but like always keeping turned towards
Always watch.
Indigo in the jar. Like, he's walking backwards and sideways, like going around the room, but he's like keeping eye contact.
Sure.
I'll help
that's
look.
Safel. He's an odd fellow, but he has a lot of cool magics, and he's pretty fun.
Dirty 20 on the investigation.
Lara, were you
Helping?
assisting, or were you doing your own separate check?
I think that I suppose that maybe she was looking at a different part of the room. You want me to roll too?
Sure. If you're gonna do that, then I would say roll separately.
Okay, cool. 16.
Okay. You guys don't find anything edible. However, you do find in a couple of the cabinets, you find a couple bottles of liquor. Actually, I will say that there are 3 kind of like quart-sized old glass bottles that when you pull out the old cork, smells like alcohol.
No food in here, Indigo. If you'd like to feed your friend, which I'm not saying you should, I think it's a bad idea. He's clearly going to bring down any advantages we may have had towards stealth based on the fact it can't keep its mouth shut. But you can certainly look for other food.
All right, we'll go looking. Hey, and I'm gonna go over because I think there were 2 chests in the northwest corner. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would like to check the second one for any sort of traps or problematic pieces.
Okay, make that perception check or investigation, either or.
Perception, please. And that's a 14.
Yeah, you don't think it's trapped. Doesn't appear to be
I will-
locked either.
Perfect. I'll try to open it then.
Okay, you open it up, and you look inside, and that you see that there's actually some. I believe it's either like cook's utensils or something to that effect. Let me just double check here. Yeah, cook's utensils. You find that kind of like a full gear set. So it's about 8 pounds worth of gear. In it you find like pots, pans, you find like a spatula, some ladles, different things like that. Otherwise there's just some kind of like old empty jars as well that don't take any kind of mimic shape, and that's it.
Cool. I'll stow that cooking gear in my bag. Well, I haven't found anything to eat yet, but I have some excellent tools, so we'll have a nice meal next time we get cooking. Which I realize now we usually eat dried mushrooms, but hey, we never know when an opportunity is going to strike. But hey, if I remember right, the kitchen should be right next to the banquet hall. Do you guys want to go through and kind of check it out?
I think that's our next move. Can I do a quick peek out the door here to see if there's anything in the hallway?
Sure.
Stealthily?
You trying to? Yeah. Go ahead and roll for stealth.
12 plus 2 is 14.
Okay. You quietly crack the door open, and you look out, and you have dark vision, right? I'm pretty sure you do.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
You peek out into this large and very clearly grandiose, what was probably a very grandiose room, and go ahead and make a perception check.
4.
4. Yeah, you don't notice anything or hear anything or smell anything out of the ordinary. Kind of the same pervading sense and sounds that you've heard in other parts of the castle. But it is... Uh-oh. Hang on. Honey?
Oh, man.
A moment of silence for our fallen.
Rip.
There we go.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that. I don't know why that kicked out on me.
Tell
First
me
time it
why.
happened.
Why?
Before hopping, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I don't see any of those little wavy things. Shut up, Sam. On my my little bar. That's not like a.
No,
phone,
I see your
right?
waves. I see
Yours
your
are,
waves.
Okay.
yours are coming through nice and clear.
That's happened to me before too. Sometimes it just doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right, sorry, please. On scene.
Okay. So as you're looking out there, you hear, smell, and kind of sense the same general gist that you have felt in other parts of the castle. You see a couple skeletal forms laid about across the floor here. So clearly whatever happened to all the other denizens of this castle, something has clearly happened in here as well. But you don't hear or see anything out of the ordinary.
All right, I will slowly shut the door and turn to my compatriots. I don't see anything in the room beyond, but I think we should still continue to be stealthy. There are skeletons on the ground, and seeing as we have fought some undead here very recently, I think we should still be incredibly cautious.
Speaking of caution, are we simply allowing Indigo to take the jar?
I think we have to leave the jar here until
wait.
we...
Wait. What if
No.
he eats skeletons? Huh?
I don't...
Huh?
And
You
is
can
that possible,
try.
Sibel?
If he could eat matter such as bone, there's no reason he wouldn't have eaten anything in the chest. I imagine he is hungry for actual food.
We could chop off your finger, Indigo, and give it to him.
I find that particular option to be a little bit distasteful.
Well, then perhaps we leave the jar.
I will leave the jar if it's okay if I come back and get it after we look in the room.
Fine.
Indigo puts the jar down directly next to the door.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back for you, buddy. I'll be back for you.
Okay. So you guys are going into the banquet hall?
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
I'll lead the way.
Let me do some reveal. As you guys enter into the room, you see a very nicely decorated tile floor, more in a kind of general pattern than any of the fanciful designs that you saw in like the study or the library or even the entrance hall. However, the main thing is you see one gigantic table that almost stretches from end to end, and surrounding it are columns and wonderful fanciful statues depicting angelic-like creatures. You do see a number of skeletal bodies, either kind of slumped against the large banquet table or strewn about the floor. You do see 2 batches of that odd crystal that you guys have harvested a little bit of, and you see farther south and to the southeast of it, you see the double doors that the others have seemingly escaped through, and to the north of the door that you've come through from the kitchen, you see a smaller set of double doors that go up. What do you guys do? And go ahead and please remember to move your characters on roll 20.
Ah, yes.
Sneaking away from shit.
Is there any indication that this is just for double checking's sake that other people have been through?
Make
does
a
anything
survival
look
check.
displaced? Or okay, all right.
Yeah, what's the dust situation?
Okay, so that's a natural 15 for a 15.
Okay. What's anybody else got? Anybody else rolling?
Sure.
It's up to you guys. It can be just
9.
Phil. 9.
16 over in Indigo
Okay.
corner.
For you, Laura, it looks like housekeeping just came through. It's all the same. I'm just
It's
kidding.
immaculate.
It's immaculate. You're like, damn, I've never seen a cleaner banquet hall. Shit, you could eat off the floor. While Indigo and Cephal are like, this is nasty. Like, wow. Oof, so much bacteria.
This place sucks.
Cephal is like, the floor will eat you.
Yeah. Is the floor a mimic? Cephal and Indigo, you see that there indeed have been tracks that seem to come from the southeast and have come up either around these kind of columns, and they look like they head to the northern set of doors.
We should proceed cautiously north.
I think if we could do this quietly, that's the best way.
Indigo gives a quiet nod and a thumbs up, and then bends down and picks up the jar.
So you peek
Put
back
it-
into the room. Okay.
Yes.
So when you peek back into the room to retrieve the jar mimic, you see that it has slowly kind of scuttled using its tongue, its sticky tongue appendage, to actually crawl towards one of the skeletons. And as you peek in, it just kind of like rolls over, a bone half sticking out of its mouth, and it's just. And it stops crunching on one of the bones. But it, like, you see one, like, little bubble start to appear towards the top of the jar, and then all of a sudden a little orange eye opens, and it blinks at you, and then it slowly rolls back over and starts nomming on another bone.
Indigo, like quietly but quickly pulls out his, like, notebook and starts, like, furiously, like, sketching and writing notes. Theory confirmed. Excellent. And you know, after I do that, I am gonna if he allows it, if he consents, I will pick him up again, because I'm gonna throw this guy at a skeleton later.
Okay. He fights you a little bit until he gets a couple more bones into his mouth that he just cracking and snapping in his jaw, but otherwise he doesn't fight you once his mouth is full.
Excellent.
Or
I'll
their
pick up
mouth is full, I should say.
I'll pick up a bone, in case it gets peckish on the way.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and so you have this little jar mimic with you. All
So, like,
right.
Indigo's, like, cradling this jar, like, feeding it a bone, like
Yeah,
a bottle.
He
Yeah.
walks out like with a tibia in one hand and a mimic in the other, and then very quietly gives you a thumbs up while holding the bone.
Lara just, like, shakes her head and rolls her eyes.
Okay, well, if you guys are all being stealthy, please roll me some stealth checks. Guess I gotta
My eyes are, like, watching those skeletons like a hawk.
They're on a swivel.
My stealth is an 8 as a result.
Yes, I see. I can tell.
My Cephaldi is having a bones day today.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Nice.
21 over here.
Oh,
Nice.
shit. All right. Athera got a 18 and Stool got a 10. And then
course
go
he
ahead and roll for Ashni there, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you haven't really checked in with Ashni.
Ashni got a 8.
Okay. All right. You guys are, double teaming it up. Ashni seems to be a little distracted by the small crunching mimic eating bones. But otherwise, you guys get up through this other set of doors and you enter into another long stretch of hallway. In this hall, you see decorating along its walls different trophies of various beasts, monstrosities, and other such creatures. You do see a couple patches of crystals that have burst up through the floor, along with large sets of cobwebs. All right, so you guys are in this hallway. You don't see any kind of immediate dangers. It seems to be similar to the type of hallway when you guys were making your way over to the library and the smithy and the study. You know, Indigo, that if you were to continue on this path, that you would eventually come into a small set of barracks on this first floor, and what would presumably be a staircase that leads up to the second floor, and another entrance that goes out to the castle gardens.
Alright, guys, looking good. Head this way. I think this is where the knights' quarters were. There might be some cool stuff there. There might be a way up to the next floor, or there might even be a way out into the courtyard. So, proceed.
And for those actually concerned with our safety, be aware that that is an area where many corpses may lie. And corpses haven't been doing a whole lot of lying in this building.
I mean, they lied about being dead.
Oh, you think you're funny.
I'll just roll my psychic damage now.
This guy thinks
I need you all to roll a sanity check for me.
Yeah. I'd like to roll Scorching Ray against the DM.
In honor, I would like to enter into evidence this moment that he took from me forever.
Listen, he basically he wanted to die.
All right, are you guys moving north through this corridor or not?
Yes, Lara has
Please.
Ashni like perched on her shoulder as she like walks down. I imagine that I'm just taking the lead, and keeping an eye out, but also continuing to attempt to move stealthily.
Okay. We will roll over stealth checks unless you guys kind of want to say that you regrouped after you came through the door and are kind of setting out in a particular type of formation. Then you could roll new. It's up to you.
I feel good.
I'm okay with
Okay.
rolling over.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Lara's taking the lead. Stool will step in front of you, Indigo, and go like, "Wait, I'll go first in front of you. I gotta protect you." And then he sees Cephal and he goes, "Maybe I should go in front of Cephal."
He does need protection. Stool,
He does.
good looking out.
Good looking.
Thanks. And Athera just like, she's just like, I guess I'll just stay kind of above you. Keep an eye out. I don't know. Okay. So go ahead and move your pawns. Keep moving.
Okay.
You gotta move for me to know where you're going. Don't be little bitches.
We told you. Fuck.
As you guys move forward, this hall starts to open up, and you see that there are some skeletons of much larger creatures that seem to have come through here. You see a very large mass of crystals, probably 10 foot by 10 feet high, like it's about 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. And you see that there is a small set of double doors off to the left, which you would believe, Indigo, leads to the barracks. You see a very large set of double doors that seemed a little bit more weathered and beaten to the northeast. And then you actually see rubble that appears to be blocking off what you would think must have led to the staircase. It looks like it's been pretty well demolished.
I think we should check out both doorways and see what lies beyond each, unless you said did the map indicate where we might want to go next?
I think that's a little more subjective. It depends, what we want to try to find. I mean, the Knight's Quarters might have some nice stuff in it, but the Courtyard might get us closer to getting out of here.
I guess it would be easier if we knew what Bupito and the rest of them that ran off were actually looking for. Like, does anybody that left actually have a goal in this place, or is it just fuck around until they find an exit?
Yeah, I think it's just exiting.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
I mean, my thought is going towards the gardens, right? Because that would technically be a door outside, and like, unless it was a greenhouse type garden, there is, in theory, an exit.
Yeah, and you said that was left or right?
That would be from
left.
the layout. You believe it's to the right, Indigo. So the northeast.
Yeah, over to the right is probably the gardens.
All right. Lara will head that direction.
Yeah, Safal will follow right behind.
And attempt to get to the door to peek through.
Okay. Indigo, I now have it so that you can move your mimic with you.
Ooh. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so you guys are stacking up on the door. Are you just going through? What's your game plan here? Any kind of game plan?
I think she's going to do the same things before, where she's going to slowly open one door and just kind of peek through while keeping it as quiet as possible to see if there's any movement inside before fully opening it and moving through.
Okay. Make a stealth check, followed by a perception check.
16 on stealth, okay, and 11 for perception.
Okay. Okay. So you manage, you believe, to quietly crack open the door, and as you kind of peek out, give me 1 second here while I try to get the freaking reveal thing to work for me. You look out and you see a couple large stands of what look like ancient, barren trees, followed by a particular blue glow. And that glow is coming from a couple of sets of very large crystals that are growing from a kind of like stone raised garden bed kind of a thing. If you're kind of following me, there we go. Okay, sorry, it was like it kept doing the hide. So you see,
I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So you see these large trees growing out of these old raised cobblestone beds. You see this large crystal mound that is now carrying a light blue-green color within them, this energy. You see some fungi kind of building up in various sections in different colors and shapes, some of which are familiar to you, but that is what you see currently.
I'm actually kind of curious about those crystals, because I think this is the correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time in this space that we're seeing a crystal
Wow.
outcropping of a different coloration.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So he's certainly curious about that, and if there's not any immediate threat visible in the courtyard, like once we move out there, I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, Laura's gonna open the door and indicate for everyone to go on through.
Okay. As you guys open up the doors more, scraping them back against the tile, pushing bits of stone and small rock that have fallen from the ceiling, you actually hear something that you haven't heard for a while. Sounds like the lapping of waves.
Mm.
And as you open it up and you look out and you start to see a little bit farther into the room, you realize that this open air garden is part of a massive, incredibly huge cavern. And you now hear louder and louder the kind of slow lapping of water against rock.
Oh.
But you guys are heading out into the courtyard. Go ahead and move yourselves.
Yeah. I think Safel is like drawn to those crystals. Like his curiosity is outweighing his caution, and he's just going to walk straight for them. He's not really looking around at this point.
Okay.
I'd like to check those out if that's at all possible.
Sure. As you guys enter out into this space, however, you hear
Oh, shit.
They walked right into it, boys.
Oh,
Get
no.
'em.
and you see a ton of goblins all of a sudden appear from
shit.
behind all the different stonework, and a couple
Oh,
of
shit.
orcs as well. And I will
Really?
reveal the rest of the area. Oh, it's doing that
Damn it.
stupid thing again. There we go.
Did these goblins have bombs in them? I hate that.
Oh,
To
shit.
find out.
Oh, this is a gourd.
That's a really cool looking map.
This is a map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice map. I'll take a little screenshot. See if we post this on social media.
Yeah,
This is
do
a
it.
fine place. A fine place to die.
Yeah, so this has been fun.
I mean, we can bury Indigo and Stool. Oh my god, they keep coming.
That is
That's a lot. That's a lot
that
of
is
goblins,
all of
boys.
them. Boys, we might be in trouble.
So, oh my god.
Yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
9.
11 goblins. 9 of them
11?
appear to be, yep, 9 of them appear to be kind of undressed, minimally armed, while 2 of them appear to be in better pieces of armor, and 2 large gray-skinned orcs.
We got
Let's go
greedy.
ahead and roll for initiative, gang.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is
We're so
gonna be
prepared.
a tough one.
Ah, fuck.
So, first in the order, we have this orc in the southwest who is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just charges up on Safel.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Not good, my friend. And he's going to swing his great axe at you.
Uh-huh.
That is a... Not a great one. That's a 12 to hit.
That misses.
Wow. Okay, so this
Damn.
orc runs up, swings his great axe, and you just have the wherewithal to duck underneath the blow.
Fucking
Nice.
barely, dude. AC 13.
Oh. Damn.
Let's change that.
All right. Next up is the goblin boss, one of the goblin bosses. It's one of these better armored ones who's going to step out 10 feet to the south, kind of closer to this middle tree here, and is actually going to throw a javelin at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's going to be at Sefel. Sefel, you
Jesus.
are going to have partial cover because of the crystal. He doesn't have a great line of sight on you.
Partial cover is a plus. Are we talking half, 3/4?
I'm going to say half. Half
Okay.
cover.
I think that's a +2 to AC.
I believe it is as well.
Okay.
Half cover is a +2, 3/4 is a +5.
Excellent.
Well, that saved you because he only has a +2 attack, and that was a 14.
That would. Oh no, that would just miss. No,
Yeah,
because my
was gonna say,
cover
right.
AC would be 15.
And then let me just read on a thing real quick.
It's because I went towards their shiny, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then he's going to continue moving down here, repositioning himself. All right. Next up is Aethera, who's going to quickly fly over you, Indigo, and straight towards this orc, and she's going to stab out with her dagger.
Oh, yeah, girl, get in there. Fuck him up.
That is a natural 1.
Damn it.
Oh, no.
So
Oh
you
no.
just you see Aethera fly up and then just go behind the orc's head, and you can't see what's going on, but you don't hear any kind of howl from pain or anything, Sefel, so you're just kind of confused as to what happened. But she has missed. Oof. Okay.
Actually, just looked again because I'm intelligent. Even if I had copied scrolls, it wouldn't have been as useful as I thought. We mistakenly have been saying blink. It was a blur scroll.
Oh, that's what it was.
Was the
Yeah,
second
okay.
one. Would still be helpful, but
It
not,
would be.
not as helpful.
Yes. All right. The next in the order is the first set of goblins, which are these ones up here. This one is going to charge 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet up to you, Lara. And he is going to swing out with his scimitar. That is an 18 plus 4, so a 22
Oh,
to
yeah,
hit.
that's gonna hit.
Right. And that is, almost max damage. 7 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
Whoa. Indigo's gonna have a busy turn.
Yeah, he's gonna be a busy day. Let's see here. Next one that was behind him. These are kind of to the northeast in the middle of the garden. This guy's gonna run up kind of to the north about 15 feet and is going to fire their short bow at Ashni. Oh my god, that's a natural 19. So that's gonna be a hit on the poor Ashni boy.
Yep.
Wow, max damage. 7 points of damage. Damn. Guys, I haven't rolled this hot in forever. This is bad for you.
No, because I mean the Spectre was a total wash. You sucked with that.
Yeah,
That was so bad.
So bad.
Shut up.
This other goblin is going to run up in and is going to swing at you, Lara, seeing you as the bigger threat as Ashni has just taken a big arrow hit. That is a natural 16 plus 4 for a 20.
Oh, that'll hit.
Another max damage. That is 8 points of damage. Holy shit. Okay. This next one here is going to pop up and fire his short bow at Ashni. That's a natural 3. Okay.
That misses.
Saving grace right there. And then finally, for this group of goblins, this one here is going to fire their short bow at Stool, who's directly south of them.
You monster.
Cock die. 13. That is going to hit. Well, that was 13 on the die, plus 4. 17. Yeah, that's a hit. Dun, dun, dun. Only 4 points of damage. The stool takes it, and you just hear it thunk, like it hit a tree trunk. Okay.
Will, are you tracking Stool's HP and whatnot?
Yep, I've
Okay.
got it for you.
Thank you.
No worries. All right. That set of goblins is done. Next up in the order is orc number 2, who was kind of hiding against the wall as you guys had pushed open the doors, and he's going to step forward on top of Stool and is going to swing his great axe down on top of him. I lost my orc stats, but that is an 11 on the die. It's probably gonna hit because I think they have a massive hit. Yeah, that's gonna hit the poor Stool boy. And that is 1d12 plus 3. We were just talking about how I never get to roll my d12. And look at that. That is 12 points of damage.
That's why I laughed when you rushed at me with the first orc. You were literally saying before this session, it's like, I never use a d12.
Yeah, so this great axe from this orc comes down and smashes right into Stool's head. Just... And he pulls it back out, and there's now this horrible cut and gash in Stool's head. And you just hear it in your mind, just, Mr. Indigo, it hurts. Okay.
I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm coming for you.
Lara, you are now up.
Jeez. All right.
She had a 16 and she just got up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to command Ashni to attack the goblin in front of them.
Okay.
Which is going to be a... Let's see. It's going to be a bite.
All right. Bite away, Ashni.
It's a 7 to hit.
That is not a hit. This goblin lifts up its foot, managing to get away from Ashni's bite at its ankle.
Okay,
He's probably really kind of distracted by the giant arrow in his shoulder.
Yeah. I'd like Ashni to move... It's going to be attack of opportunity, I think. You know what? No. Ashni's not going to move. I don't want to risk that. Okay. And then on my action, I'm going to use my movement to get... I'm not going to leave the... Well, I guess I would technically leave the space of the goblin on the right, because I want to move once. Sorry. So Lara's standing in front of 2 different goblins, and I'm going to move kitty corner, which is going to give it attack of opportunity for one of them, but I'm staying in the space of the one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're going to swing out with their scimitar, and that's a natural 2, so they miss.
Okay, good. That was a risk.
Yeah, it was a big risk, and a nice job.
All right, and then she is going to use her ASMR feature, Necrotic Shroud. Her basically, as she stands there, her eyes turn this like inky blackness, and then these flightless wings sprout out from her back. These like skeletal, disgusting, clearly not actual wings. And the instant that happens, all creatures within 10 feet must succeed on a charisma saving throw or become frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Okay, let's put up a little aura just so we can keep track of that. And let's give it a purple color just so we know where that shroud is. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, when your shroud comes out, and because of your patron, which we haven't really known too much about, but I almost picture like dark lightning flickering between the skeletal wings.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
nice.
So all these creatures need to make a wisdom saving throw, you said?
Charisma.
Charisma. Oh, great. Well, let's do the orc to the south, who's just in it. That is that's a 6.
DC 13, so that does not...
Okay. Before you tell me what happens, let's get through the 3 goblins that need to go. Okay. So, goblin to the farthest north. That's a... Oh, shoot. I doubt this is a pass, but I just want to make sure, because we don't want fans getting that. Oh yeah, he's got a -1, so that's a 9, so that one fails. The one next to you on your right, that's a natural 2. He fails. The one beside him facing down Ashni, that's a natural 1. So all of them fail. What happens?
Okay, well, I also have to roll for Ashni because I chose not to. I don't know. Can Ashni have advantage or something? Like, I feel like
No.
well, they got a 15. They got a 15, so it's all
Okay.
good.
Yes,
All right.
the creature you met yesterday has no reaction to the she witch.
We have a supernatural bond. No. Yeah. So her wings come out and they're like deathly and disgusting, necrotic, and then that lightning arcs between them. And she looks at each of these creatures in turn, and she just says, "Don't touch us." And it's like this like thundering voice as she says it. And they have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks while they are in my line of sight, and they cannot move closer to me.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice. Really good use of that. Please take a point of inspiration because that was awesome.
Hell yeah, thank you. Thank you.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's massive. Took out quite a few of the combatants there.
Question, Will, did we put up an aura of the affected creatures? I'm not seeing anything on the
I see it.
Yeah,
see it?
hopefully, I mean, we'll see. I'll edit in. Maybe it's let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's see if that does it. Do you guys see now?
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
I
So I
got
had
it.
to hit the C preferences. Okay. Yeah, so all those guys have failed. They cannot get nearer to you, and they cannot attack you? Is that what it was again?
Well, they can. Well, so they can't
They
move
just have
closer to
to-
me. So I assume that means they can't attack me.
Yeah.
You'd have to move closer to me to do that.
Okay.
But they have a disadvantage and on ability checks and attack rolls while they can see me.
Okay.
So
essentially, they're frightened and a little fucked up.
Well, the two that are in melee could still attack you. They can't like use movement to get any closer to you. But if they're already at you, they like an attack doesn't fall under that. Or if they had ranged attacks, they could attack you. But if they're at disadvantage, that's still
that's all
huge.
disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, they're. I'm gonna play it like they're frightened, so it'll be if they do, the disadvantage here, kind of works out. Wow. Okay. Phenomenal turn there, Lara. Okay. Next in the order is something happens.
Oh.
Make a. Actually, what's all of your passive perceptions for me, real quick? I know I've asked this. I think for a couple of you, it's rather low.
9.
10.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
God damn.
You, Indigo, see from somewhere 2 large bolts just appear in this goblin to the north, just like 2 in its back, just shunk, shunk, and you see it drop dead instantly. And that is what you see there. It is a dead goblin with 2 bolts sticking out of its back. You just happen to catch it with all the confusion kind of going on. All right. Next up is the Stoolmeister. Stooly boy does whatever a stooly boy does. He's gonna punch. He's gonna punch this orc that sunk his great axe into him. All right, make sure I got. Yeah, there we go. He is going to swing upwards. Come on, Stool. Show me what you're working with. Yep, the first swing is a hit. Second swing is a miss. So first hit here. I need a. Oh no, wrong die. All right, he does 6 points of damage with his fist as it connects into this orc's leg, creating a thudding sound. He's like, "That really hurt." Okay. Now is the other set of goblins.
Jesus.
Yeah. The
So many
initiative's
goblins.
on
Yeah.
point tonight. So this one, the farthest to the east from you guys, is going to pop up and is going to fire an arrow from its short bow at Athera. 14 pluses. And yep, that's a hit. Oof.
No.
6 points of damage on Athera. And you guys, like, you finally do hear her, like, appear from behind the orc's head, just like, kind of clutching her side. And this goblin, to the far south nearest the tree, closest to the large clump of you guys, is going to run up near Sefel and is going to swing with its scimitar at you.
Fuck.
But don't worry, because that's a 10.
Amazing.
So that is a miss. This one here is going to step up and is going to swing at Athera. Natural 15. That is a hit. And does 6 points of damage to her. She's not looking good. And then finally, this goblin here, nearest to Indigo and Stool, that was also kind of stacked behind the door, is going to step inwards and swing at you, Indigo. That is a natural 5, so that is a miss. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Next up is the other goblin boss, who is going to step downwards to here and is going to fire over towards Indigo.
Jesus.
Actually, he's going to throw his javelin. What am I saying? 16 to hit. Does that hit?
That does hit.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage as this javelin comes over and hits you, but it doesn't pierce into you. All right. It is your turn now, Sefel.
Okay. So, oh god, so much just happened in the last few seconds.
Yeah.
So all of these things ran toward him. This great axe missed by like the hair that he no longer has. Goblins everywhere. He's pincered right now, which is a terrible position.
Yeah.
He kind of put himself in the middle of everything. So he is actually very much in like his eyes are just darting in every direction, trying to take in as much as he can, which he should have done before.
I imagine his tentacles like fluttering about and moving more because like the concern.
Yeah, he's very flustered at the moment. Very like everything in his face is moving and twisted, like trying to assess. And the best he can come up with is just because he can't move. Is like getting out of this situation would provoke multiple times, and he's not willing to press his luck. So I am going to cast Magnify Gravity at second level.
Oh shit.
So that is a 10-foot radius sphere. I'm going to center it here. I am pinging it. Am I pinging it? Nope.
I do
don't
not
have
see it, no.
Nope, so I'm going to ping it right there.
Okay.
So at 10 feet, I should say, I'm going to send it to like the southeast of me, south of this big crystal cluster. I should be able to just capture up to the orc, the two with me, and these two goblin bosses should all fall within that 10-foot radius.
Okay. I just put in a new pawn just so I can put an aura around it so we can accurately see where this... Okay, so that's the 10-foot radius right there.
Yep. So everything in that radius needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. You know, because goblins are so Constitution... I don't fucking know. Anyways, the two nearest to you, Sefel, near this cluster kind of stacked up behind the orc and near Athera as well. That is a 6 and a 7 respectively for them, so I'm assuming they fail.
They both fail.
The two goblin bosses down below, that is... Ooh, hang on. So many stat blocks. Okay, so they're straight up rolls too. That is a 6 and a 10, so I'm assuming everybody failed.
Both those fail. Did we roll for the orc?
Technically the orc isn't really in it.
the orc would... So...
It's like...
It's
kind
that
of
weird...
tucked.
Yeah, it's that weird diagonal rule where it's like he's 2 diagonal squares, which some would argue is technically outside of the radius. So I'll leave that one up to you.
I'm gonna flip a fucking coin.
Alright, I'll take it.
Heads or tails?
Give me tails.
Tails never fails.
It landed cracked.
How the fuck does a coin land cracked? There's 2
It landed
sides.
between my book and my keyboard. But good for you, it's tails. So I will have to
Oh
roll.
shit.
Never fails.
That is another natural 6, so he fails as
So
well.
they all fail.
They
Okay.
all fail.
I already rolled the damage.
Okay.
So they all take 13 points of... What is it? Force damage. So 13 points of force damage to all of them. And their speeds are halved for the next round.
Okay. Well, the 2 goblins instantly dead. Describe how they die.
Well, so he's like in panic mode and he just like reaches out, sees that spot. He's kind of looking like between this orc breathing in his face and the crystal cluster that he's like up against as cover. And he sees this space in the middle of where all of them are. And he reaches out and sort of the air becomes denser and he grasps it and just pushes it down. And these goblins almost compress into the dirt and stone, like their bodies just give out.
You like, as they're compressing, you see them look towards the bosses. They're like, "Hey, we don't feel so," and they just get crushed. The orc took a significant amount of damage, but he still manages to like push himself upwards, like kind of growls in your face, while the 2 goblin bosses in the back are also trying to stave this off, kind of clinging to the rocky raised bed of the tree beside them.
All right.
Damn. Look at you guys using your big AoEs. Way to go.
I mean, with this many enemies, you have to.
Yeah, go big or go home. Or
Well,
die.
as a wizard, bonus actions are laughable. So that is, in fact... Yes, that is it.
Okay. Indigo, you're up, my dude.
Excellent. I'll give just like a quick like nod of assent to the dark spot where I think the bolts came from. And then I want to like, I know everyone's taken a little bit of hits here and there. Is anyone looking bad right now?
Out of the enemies or your friends here?
Sorry, friends. How are the allies looking?
I would say I look at about a 7 out of 22.
Just to put it on a numerical scale.
If you had to make like just an abstract fraction, if you had to pull that out of the air, what would that be?
Yeah, 7 out of 22.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Safel is untouched.
Yeah, I hope to
Ashni's
change
looking
that.
at 9 out of 16.
Jesus.
Cool.
Just not to break the whole...
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, she's definitely bloody. Both of them are. But you can also see that she's looking like okay because she's got the wings are out and is looking kind of intense over there.
Yeah,
So,
she probably looks scary as
wow.
fuck right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually necessarily. I don't know. I think you're fine to.
Thera looks hurt. Stool has a giant cleft in his head, and your mimic buddy is just...
Would you allow me to just drop the mimic, but like kind of like toss it and just like in a mood, like toss it at the goblin like catches it?
Sure, yeah. You know what? I'll just give that to you. You're just tossing it to the goblin that's next to you.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, the mimic's just like, hungry, and its mouth opens up. And it fucking latches onto the goblin, and he just starts...
Oh my god.
No.
And it does 6 points of damage.
Jesus.
It's just biting into this goblin's neck, and the goblin's just like... yeah, and that goblin does not look good.
Well, good luck with that. And I'm just gonna step over. I want to actually stand right between Stool and Sefel.
Okay. I'm gonna say that Goblin cannot make an attack of opportunity because it's preoccupied fighting a mimic off of its neck.
I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Whoever said you don't understand mercy?
Yeah.
It's me. I've said it many times.
And then I'm gonna clap my hands together, pull it across my holy symbol with a silver circle around my neck, clap my hands together in prayer. Toriel, please make us strong enough to survive this encounter, that we may continue to serve and love you. And I'm gonna cast second level aid onto Stool, onto.
What is aid?
So aid increases your hit points and your hit point maximum by 5.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Ashni, Laura, and Stool.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Appreciates
up
that.
5, and you can heal that 5 back up.
that's insane.
It's a
And
great
then
spell.
I'm gonna look down at the orc that's next to Sefel and Ephira, and with my bonus action, I'm gonna kind of like buck at him, using my bonus action, help action for Ephira. And as
Oh.
part of my hobgoblin feature, she gets the help, and she also gets 8 temporary hit points.
Oh shit!
What the
Okay.
hell?
Look
That's
at the
sick.
fucking Indigo boy coming in.
Where did you find level 3 cheat codes?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, where do I buy the Game Shark for that?
yeah, where?
It's called Unearth Arcana. You all have access. Come on.
That's some like right bumper, left bumper, XYB bullshit. Like what?
Yeah. Jesus, found some San Andreas cheat codes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good times.
Wow, Indigo wrapping up the first round
Nice.
solidly.
Oh,
You know what?
yeah.
We're gonna go a little long on this recording tonight because we're in the thick of it, and you guys are
Hell
crushing
yeah.
it right now.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we are back up at the top of the order with this orc here next to you, Sefel.
Yeah.
And even though you've done that, it has the twittering Aethera now kind of like flying about its head, and it's going to swing at her with its great axe. Ooh, natural 15. Yep, that's a hit. Okay. Yikes. Let's see, I forget what the plus is to damage on this guy, but it's not good.
Enough.
Yeah, it might be. Okay, well, he does 14 points of damage to her.
Oh shoot.
Oh, no.
And she's back to looking real bad. Okay. And that is that goblin, or that orc's turn. Next in the order. Wow. Jeez. Guys. Goblin boss number 1, this guy down here. So, just remind me here, Sefel, is this gravity still affecting them, or is it like a burst?
Nope. It lasts a full round. So I believe
When it comes back to you, it will fade?
yes, until the start of your next turn.
Okay. Is there
Yep,
a
on
movement
the-
halved or anything?
Yes, their speed is halved. Actually, sorry. The start of your next turn is a secondary part of it. Their speed is halved until the end of their next turn. So it's halved now, but once they take their turn, it is done.
Okay. Oh, jeez. All right. Christ on a cracker. Okay, well, they're going to use their bonus action to use nimble escape and allow them to do the disengage for a little bit of extra movement. They're going to move 5, 10, 15 to get to here. And then they are going to lose a little bit of movement climbing over 5, 10, 15 to get to here, and they are going to swing twice with their scimitar at Athera.
Oof.
Oh no.
One of them connects
Oh no.
and does 6 points of damage. And you can see as this cut goes through that Athera like starts to kind of flutter to the floor, blood kind of like coming off one of her wings. Looks like it's been cut through a bit. And she is looking really, really bad. Okay, next up is... It's actually Athera, who is going to... She still has the help from you there, Indigo, right?
Yep.
So, what was the, was there an attack bonus that she gets? I forget what you said entirely.
It's advantage on her next attack.
Okay. She is seeing that the kind of biggest threat to you guys is the orc. She's gonna, like, turn to you, Indigo, and she's like, I'm not gonna waste it. I gotta get out. Just leave. And she's going to swing. Natural 16 plus 4, so that's a 20. That's going to hit that orc. And it is going to do max damage, and it is in there, so there is some sneak attack. Yeah, okay. With the way that orc was, she manages to just, like, flutter up just enough and just stab the orc in the neck with a small dagger, and that orc starts to fall. And Athera is... Let's see. Oh, Athera, can you do anything here to get away? Because as much as she don't want to die, she don't want to die. Yikes, I don't think she has that. Nope. Okay. So she is going to stay put. She's not going to try and get away and chance this goblin boss swinging at her. Oh boy, oh. Alright, next up is the first set of goblins, all the ones basically around you, Lara. This first one here that's next to you, even though it's frightened, because it is frightened, is going to try and swing at you at disadvantage. Don't worry, I remembered. That was a 9 and a 1, so it misses on its scimitar attack. This one behind him over Ashni is going to swing at it again. That was a 19 and a 6, so it misses. And this one is actually going to try and move away, so Ashni gets an attack of opportunity.
Alright, that's... claw attack is a 9 to hit.
That is a miss. Okay. Going back up to the goblin to kind of to the northwest of... I almost fucked it up again. Northwest of you, Lara. They are going to try and get away. Actually, I think they're going to just completely disengage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet back and away from you, just kind of fleeing like... And then this one to the far back is actually, since it's not in the aura, it's going to fire its short bow at you. Normal attack. That's a 7, but 11 doesn't hit you, right?
It does not.
Okay, so that is a miss. All right, that is all those goblins there. And we are now at this orc, who's standing over Stool, also next to Indigo and the mimic that is eating the goblin. They are going to swing at Stool. That's a natural 4, so that's a miss. Damn it.
Yes!
Okay, Stool the Invincible continues on. Next up, Lara, you are up. You've got one goblin next to you, an orc to the south, and the others are kind of moving away. What's up?
Yeah, I'm going to bonus action Shadow Blade. I'm going to conjure that out.
Ooh, nice. What does that blade look like? I'm just
Hers
curious
is
because this
like-
whole dark skeletal theme you've got going on right now, if it like affects it.
I think it's probably very similar where her shadow blade is like got some of that lightning on it a little bit. Like instead of being like shadowy, it's kind of like arcing lightning and dark fog.
Almost like a cumulonimbus cloud formed into a sword. Very nice.
Hell yeah. That's exactly what it would be. And then with my attack action, I will I'm gonna move actually. I want to attack this ogre.
The orc?
Orc.
Okay.
Orc, excuse me. So I'll take
You're gonna take that
that.
AOO?
Mhm.
Okay, at disadvantage. That's a miss. That's a 4.
Okay. And then my so I can bonus action cast a spell, and then with my attack action, I can use a cantrip, right? Booming blade.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I will booming blade. Try to hit
Jesus,
this.
it's gonna be so much damage if you hit.
Come on. Oh, and I get advantage because we're in dimmer darkness.
Shit. Yeah. I hate this spell. I hate this spell. Brendan introduced it to me, and I've hated it ever since.
But it's dim light or darkness, or is it just darkness? Because I, if it's dim light or darkness, I was always using it wrong because I always
You always did it in
dim
darkness.
light or darkness.
Wow.
Yeah, this
used
counts.
Shit wrong.
Wow.
Well, I only got a 15 to hit.
That's enough to hit it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so sad because this is gonna be like 10d6 damage right now.
Well, it's 2d8 psychic,
Jesus
which
Christ.
is going to be 7 plus 2. So that's 9 psychic plus the 3.
Don't even bother
Why not add
rolling.
that?
Describe your kill. It's dead.
Well, okay, so I imagine she just kind of runs up and he's like looking at her really scared in the eyes, and she actually just plunges it straight into his chest.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
you're
the,
probably running looking like the storm specter of death.
Yeah. So it plunges in, and that thunder would have been along with it, but then the necrotic from the wings also crinkles out through his skin as the veins
Ooh.
spread along his body, and then he falls.
Now the booming blade, correct me if I'm wrong, does like a thunder explosion kind of a thing, right?
The thunder is from my genie.
Just
the
from the
booming
genie.
blade is just if they move, then they take additional damage.
Right. So you plunge down this blade, the necrotic energy running through its chest, and I just imagine like the thunder, this concussive force just like launches the body of the orc as it was starting to crumble to the ground off your blade and just pounds it into the ground as the necrotic energies steal across it. Ah, so cool.
Sick.
Oh,
That's it.
wow. That was hardcore.
Stool's just like with the cleft in his head. He's like, nice job, Laura.
We'll get you out of here, Stool.
Oh no,
You too,
did his
dear.
intelligence go even lower?
I'm a bad. I can do this all day. Jeez, crow. All right, Indigo, you hear from the darkness another faint as something whistles through and plunges into this goblin back here, you just a little north above the 2 garden beds with the large crystals coming out of them, and it falls dead. Stool is the next one in the initiative order, and he's going to step down and attack the goblin boss. He's going to take 2 swings. One of them connects, and he's going to... Okay, max damage. So you see him sucker punch this goblin boss, and it just coughs up some blood as Stool does so, and it crumples underneath his fist and slumps over onto the ground. Stool's like, "Hey, got it, guys." Okay. Next in the order is the last of the goblins of the second crew. This one far over here is going to step forward and is going to fire an arrow at Athera.
Oh man.
Natural 17.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Max damage. And you see Athera go down.
Shit.
She falls. She's like looking down at her tiny body, the bolt, or not the bolt, but the arrow sticking out of her stomach. I'm sorry. And she crumples. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Another.
Is she a small or a tiny creature?
Tiny
Is she dead or is she unconscious?
You don't know. Not in the heat in the moment, you don't know. But she has fallen for sure. That is what you do know.
Shit.
Next up is this other goblin boss who is caught in this gravity field, who is going to...
The gravity field is actually gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't... Oh, no, because he hasn't gone yet, so he's still...
I was going to say...
Yeah,
no,
his speed is half, but there's no, like, lingering... Like, the spell itself is gone. The effect is still there. I forgot we were still in this round.
Yes, second round. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that little cosmos-looking thing. He's going to move here and is going to fire an arrow at you, Safel.
Okay.
Seeing you use this magic. Oh, that is a 9 plus 3 and 11, which we know doesn't hit. Damn. Jeez. Okay. Wow, this is a super packed fight all of a sudden. It's just gotten a lot smaller. All right, Safel, you are up.
Okay. So we have these two down here. I think... So everything has kind of gotten out of his face. There's still big... I guess he's kind of deciding right now whether or not he wants to take on this big group of goblins here, but they're gonna go down quick. And they're still one of the goblin bosses, so I think what he is going to do... Let's do... Yeah, oldie but a goodie. Let's... So this orc... Actually, this just pile of corpses now in front of him. He is going to... the gravity dispersing from his hands, or this pull of reality, he's going to twist his, like, fingers down towards the corpses, like, grab onto something and just flick his wrist upward, and a bone is going to shoot outward. I think because I have to specify, because there might be different size creatures here. Let's say I will use the body of the orc.
I was going to say, I use the body of Athera.
I shoot her entire skeleton.
Yeah.
No, so Bone Shard, one of the bones of the orc at the southern goblin boss.
Okay.
And I have to roll for that. Okay, that's a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, and... Let's see. Ooh. 8 points of piercing, 4 points of... Oh no, sorry, I did that wrong. So 12 points of damage, 6 piercing, 6 necrotic.
Describe your kill.
I mean, yeah, so he just reaches down, he, like, feels the bones within the orc and flings it outward, and as this goblin boss is like getting ready to throw another attack, a just shard of big burly orc bone just goes in one side of his neck, out the other, and he just collapses.
Nice. Good spell.
Sick.
All right, and that is your turn.
That is my turn.
Okay. Will?
And in case I know I didn't specify, but I only casted Bone Shard at first level. I didn't cast up.
Okay. All right. Whew, jeez. Well, Indigo, you are up.
All right. As I see Afira kind of crumple and fall, I'd like to reach out, if I could, catch her and immediately infuse her with a level 1 Cure Wounds.
As you go to do that, she takes a hold of one of your fingers, and she's just like, please, don't. I've been here too long. I just want to go. I just want the quiet. Please.
Shit, man. All right.
That's fucking...
Indigo is gonna do the single tear pretty cry. He is gonna cradle her in one arm, and instead, raising his left, he will point at the remaining goblin to the southeast, and will instead hit him with a level 1 guiding bolt.
Oh boy, is that a dexterity save for me?
No, that's for me to roll right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Right there.
It ain't great. That's a 12 to hit.
Let me just double check. Oh, that's surprisingly a miss.
Yeah.
Oof.
Indigo is shaking and unsteady in this moment.
So you're cradling her, and as you are, she's gonna her little head rests against your chest, and she's like, "It's okay. It's okay. It's just been too long. It's okay. It's okay." And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Oh, damn. Hey, you, loyal listener, you've made it this far to the post show notes, and that means the absolute world to us. Thank you so much for being here. If you have one more second, we would adore you if you could leave a rating and a review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening in. The ratings and reviews are astronomical when it comes to growing the show because it's what gets us noticed for new listeners. So if you have just a moment to do that, please do. And we also have a Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to give us a follow. It's at The Madness Table. And if you've noticed, we are now posting weekly episodes because of supporters like you. So if we haven't said it enough, thank you. And we will see you in just 7 short days for our next episode when...